Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Liz, and on this channel I am sharing my family's journey to becoming debt-free through budgeting. If that is something that you are interested in following along with, then please be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button as well. In today's video, I am just going to go over our weekly check-in for the last week of March. Let me get that open. Okay. So last week of March was March 25th through the 31st. We were anticipating an income of $27.21. We actually had $26.71.54 come in, so a little bit lower than expected, but certainly manageable. We didn't really have any bills. We had an expense that I put under bills, which was an oil change for my car. I budgeted $80, but that ended up being $95.12 instead. So a little bit more than I anticipated. I was going over my last oil change, which was over 6 months ago. So obviously with fuel costs increase and oil and all of that, inflation, it makes sense that it's higher. So that was it for bills. So our leftover after I took out the $95.12 was $25.76.42. For our envelopes, which can you guys see? Let me move this out of the way. So for our envelopes, we had rolled over $40 from the previous week. So this wasn't $150. We started the last week of March with $190 in our food envelope. We still went over. It was $212.95 that we spent on food. For gas, I budgeted $80. We spent $85. WTF, which is our miscellaneous category, I budgeted $25. We ended up spending $119.01. The majority of that was a tool that my husband needed for work. Wasn't really something that is, a normal purchase for us, but he needed it. So, and I didn't have anywhere else to pull that from, really. The miscellaneous was the only category that really made sense. For his spending money, I give him $25 a week, and I don't track where that money is spent. So for household, I budgeted $25 and we spent $20. So some of these we did use our bank card for. So I had $15 in fives left over at the end of the week that will go into our $5 challenge from our cash envelopes. And then the rest of the money that was kind of an overage is just coming out against our rollover. All right, so for sinking funds, so we ended up spending $461.96 versus the $305 that we originally budgeted, and that left us with $2114.46 left. For our sinking funds, I had originally budgeted $150 for debt. We ended up putting $50 in there. For a $1,000 challenge, I budgeted $50. We actually put in $50. And then for maternity leave, I did not budget anything originally, but ended up putting $100 in there instead of towards the debt, because that's kind of like the highest priority focus for us right now. So altogether, $200 went into our sinking funds, leaving us with $1914.46. I just made a little note to myself here that I did take $200 from our debt envelope to pay towards our Fidelity card at the end of the month. So that payment has been made, but it wasn't actually part of this budget. I just wanted to remind myself to actually do it. And then for rollover, we are taking 1914.46 into the month of April. So with all of that, we have zero left over for zero-based budget for the week of March 25th through the 31st. Now, let me show you first week of April. We definitely went over budget in multiple categories for the month of March. So April, I do want to try to be a little bit more vigilant with our spending. I will definitely do like a March recap and kind of share where we ended up for the month of March though. Okay, so for the first week of April, which is April 1st through the 7th, we're expecting $31.36 to be our budgeted income. For earned, we brought in a little bit less, and our rollover was definitely a little less than anticipated. So we're still fine for this week, but like I said, we'll just try to keep our budget as tight as possible. I haven't added this up yet because this other category is from savings, specifically our utilities savings. My mom doesn't always, we live with my parents, and we do pay them rent, but she doesn't always ask me for money towards utilities. So I haven't filled that in yet because she hasn't told me whether or not she needs anything. But if she does, that'll come from our savings anyway. So for this week, our bills include our rent for $830, potentially utilities for $300, Bestow, which is my life insurance, $32.50, our personal loan for $484.34, and T-Mobile for $234.16. So all of these are definites, so I just filled in the actual because these are the actual amounts, minus the utilities that I'm still not sure about. And then for our envelopes, I will be stuffing $150 in food, $90 in gas, $25 in miscellaneous, $25 in my husband's spending, and then I budgeted $150 for spending money from me and the baby for the month, but when I did my cash stuffing, which I did already do the stuffing for this week because we needed gas, I accidentally put $50 into the emergency fund instead of towards the spending, which is fine. I'll just fix that next week when I'm supposed to stuff the emergency fund. I just won't. And then for household, $25. So our total budgeted cash amount is $465. And then for sinking funds, this week I am stuffing Christmas for $50, car care for $50. We definitely need to beef the car care up a bit. We used a bit of money in March for my car, and then I am going to need brakes and tires sometime later in the year, probably fall, winter. So I'd like to get that up a little bit higher. Giving is going to get $10, clothing is $10, vacation $40. Again, we have a vacation planned for August. Not really sure if I'm going to be on the trip or not because we are going to have a new baby in May. So, I'm not sure, but I want to be prepared for that trip just in case. The baby fund is getting $100. Utilities is getting $100. And like I said, the emergency fund wasn't getting anything, but ended up getting $50. That left us with a planned $430. So I did put $30 into our challenge envelope. And then that would have left us with $400 in rollover. So I'm really not sure what our rollover will be until obviously we do a weekly check-in at the end of this week, which will be next Thursday or Friday. So yeah, that's where we are starting the month of April, I did notice an email today that I left one bill out of our April monthly budget. We belong to a wine club, so that's going to come out. I believe that'll be with the next. Yeah, so I'll have to figure that into our next paycheck for the second week of April. But other than that, so far we're on track. And it's only day 1 of April. I can't believe that it's April already, but this year is just like flying by for us. So I hope everyone is well and that you had a successful March and that you are entering April in the positive. Let me know in the comments what you have been up to with your budget, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.